Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, I'm Peggy.
And I'm Amanda.
And we are the Junction. You're watching the Junction Fiber Mill Millcast.
Yeah. And we are a small fiber mill in Vermont.
Yep.
We're the owners, two friends and sheep and wool fanatics.
Yeah, wool fanatics. Yeah, that's fair. And supported by a terrific team who are helping us make some really glorious yarn for you to knit with.
Yes. That was distinct.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we're like, we gotta remember.
Yeah.
Who are we?
For
Tell
people who stumble upon this Millcast, where they're going, who are those people?
Welcome.
Yeah. Where did she get those red glasses anyway?
Artisan Eyewear in Norwich, Vermont. My hometown eyewear store.
Did I tell you I went in there?
Great. I love that store. What did you think?
Well, the place I get my hair cut is right next door.
In the same building.
And I think she's getting a cut. Because she's sending all her clients over to
Artisan Eyewear?
Oh, absolutely. No, to the Artisan Eyewear. So
I think it's a tiny, tiny town. There are like no businesses, basically.
True.
So they all got to stick together.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
So I go in there, lovely owner. Do you remember her name?
Natalie.
Natalie.
She's fabulous.
She's terrific. And she's pulling out all these glasses, and I'm putting them on. And I just got very self-conscious that I'm not brave enough.
I mean, I think you should just jump into it. I know it's not inexpensive, but like, this is my first like fancy pants pair of glasses.
Well, they're your first pair of funky glasses.
Right, and I always have wanted to have funky glasses, and ever since I got these, no regrets other than it was poorly timed with that SNL skit about little red glasses.
Right.
But other than that, I feel like every time I wear them, people compliment them. I'm always trying to send business to Artisan Eyewear. She's got a bunch of brands. But I like these. They're very matte, which I like.
Yeah.
So much color.
Yep.
I've seen other people wear other colors from her. Like, she also has some hot pink ones, I think, from the same brand that I'm like, ooh, that would be fun. You could also, like, have a pair. I know, again, they're very expensive, but you could do, like,
just
backup glasses for your normal-looking thing.
Okay, here's my vanity coming through.
Okay.
If you haven't noticed, I have white hair. I'm older, and I know there's a lot of older people who wear the funky glasses, kind of whatever. But my feeling is, my one asset is I know I have very blue eyes.
Yeah.
I have very blue eyes. So I feel like when I put on funky glasses, it's like you're not seeing my eyes, you're just seeing the funk. And my white hair and funk, and so that's why.
I kind of disagree. I wonder if you did, like, a color that could bring out the blue more. That could be fun. I don't know. I feel like my eyes look bluer in these bright red glasses than without them, but that's just my opinion. Like, it's fun to have glasses. You look in the mirror like, I look good in those glasses. That's how I feel about these.
I tried them on, and I looked in the mirror, and I thought, you just put funk on your face, and
okay,
I couldn't.
For you.
Well, it may just be that I need to get over it.
Well, what I liked about Natalie and her way of running the store was I felt like I could give her honest feedback.
Yes.
She was really good about reading it and like giving me the next one, which is what, as a millennial raised on internet shopping, was such a revelation of like,
this is what in-person
experience.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I have that experience whenever I call someone and things happen quicker than they would have over email too, where I'm like, holy smokes, that didn't waste my time to be on the phone.
This is a topic we've covered before, but
I'm on board now with the phone calls. I just often feel today that like usually you call someone and they're like, well, we'll be in touch over email or whatever. Right. You're like, well, I just sat on hold with a robot for nothing.
This is true. But when you do experience great customer service, you go, okay, there's the computer and then there's great customer service.
Absolutely.
So anyhow,
I am wearing...
Yeah, what are you wearing?
Our one shop sample that felt appropriate in this like 80-degree weather.
Right. This
is the Glide sweater by Woolfolk, and it's super cute.
It is very cute.
I actually just want to steal this for the weekend.
You should.
Yeah. It's made with our Alpenglow making tracks light. So
and so it's fun. What's fun is we often are showing our stuff done in stranded knit. This is solid.
Yep.
But so here's the skein, right? And you'd look at it going, well, I don't really get how it would knit up. This is how it would knit up. It's a subtle stripe, but it's very gradual.
Yeah, and also what's nice about this pattern and really any vest, but specifically this because you don't even have ribbing, is that you get that gradient without having the asymmetrical look of like trying to do variegated yarn in two sections where you're going to run into
where it's going to come in and the yellow was here and it's up here.
Yeah, like when you do sleeves, it's tough. But this one has no additional ribbing or whatever. It's just sort of knit one big piece.
Yeah.
And it's super nice. We we haven't pulled this one out a bunch, but I brought it to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, and we got a ton of people interested in it.
Oh, interesting.
A few folks tried it on, so it's fun. I think it's fisherman's rib, though, so you do have to do a lot of knitting, because I think you do kind of every row twice.
Yeah, I think it is fisherman knitting. Wow.
With fisherman's
Yeah,
rib,
but it's neat, but it's only a vest.
It's only a vest, and it's like a light, breezy summer vest. You'll feel hip in it, so it's fun.
Hip. Okay. We got a new color. Drum roll, please.
This is one we've been needing in our lineup. It's
Yeah.
not rinsed yet, so it's going to look a little
Yeah, it's gonna
different
be a little-
in final, but we're pre-recording this episode a little bit further in advance.
Let's twist her up a little bit.
This is Roots, the working title, Roots Brown.
It's a brown. It's more than a brown. It's kind of a reddy brown. But I really like it because it's
like a cedar tree.
Oh, that's it.
Ooh,
That's what the color. It's a
cedar.
That's exactly it.
Yes.
I was calling it red dirt. That's not what it is. It's not red dirt. It's a cedar.
Yay.
Well done.
Isn't cedar even more red than, anyways, we'll tell you what the color
We don't have a name.
I
yet.
don't know.
But
We
it's
don't have a name
It's
yet.
a really neat brown, and we deliberately went after doing a brown because we have some terrific making tracks that we wanted to have a solid to go with. So I mean, you got to check out a couple of these. I'm going to pick my favorite first. I think. Look at that combo. I think
this is a fun way to do it. Okay,
I-
Peg's pick.
I think the zinnia and this, let's call it for the moment, cedar brown, is so yummy because there's a little bit of the red in there and the pinks.
Okay,
I love.
now
Oh, is
I
that
have
your
to do my-
favorite?
No, I can't decide. Hold on.
Oh.
I think I like that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
contrast is kind of low, but I think
Yeah,
it's
but-
beautiful. All right, this is Enchanted Forest. We've been talking about this one a ton because we internally, I think
Yep.
it's one of our staff faves. Enchanted Forest with this cedar brown.
Cedar brown. Yeah, fill in the blank. That's really lovely.
Yeah, I think if you want like something earthy, mossy, subtle, this is
Right.
going to be beautiful.
This is my second favorite, and this is I want to double check. Yeah, pumpkin patch, which has a little bit of the brown, but then it has the orange and yellows. I love that. Look at that next to each other. Oh, that's the pumpkin next to our cedar.
Okay. this
Oh,
is
that's
also
good.
really
That's
nice.
really good.
Okay, I don't know if this is my second favorite, but it's up there because I also really like pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
But this is Day's End with
Yeah.
the cedar. And again, for those of you that like the like earthy neutral type stuff, beautiful.
That is really yummy.
And like, what would you do with these together? I mean, the go-to thing I think is like a yoked sweater. You can use this for the color work,
colorway.
and then this is like the rest of the sweater. We pulled a couple more. Do you want to show that one?
I'll
or-
do this one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Heyday. This is brighter.
I love that.
This is a brighter, more contrast.
contrast,
Yeah,
yep.
more contrast, but really yummy. Again, Heyday with our cedar brown.
And then lastly, we thought Tangerine Twist.
Yeah.
And of course, so this, you've got so much like peachiness. It's a little different than the zinnia. I just want to show
Yeah,
you.
the zinnia has more pink.
More pink and like a little brown actually in the
Yeah,
zinnia. And the Tangerine Twist, this skein is particularly salmony, but some of them have a little more of the mint in there.
Yep. That's pretty yummy.
Yeah, and again, I think we've said it before, but if you are like, oh, I like the specific skein that Amanda held up in the Millcast, you can leave an order note when you're placing your order and be like, I like one of the
let us know
this
within
and
that color.
for the making tracks.
Yeah, for the making tracks.
This is going to be 100% consistent from skein to
right.
skein.
And did we say this will be in both DK and in sport
We
weight?
did not. So yes, that's important.
Yeah.
And a lot of these colors we showed you are also
in
available
DK
in
and sport.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think this is just going to open up a lot of possibilities.
Absolutely.
So it's
Really yummy.
It's a dyed brown, which
Yeah.
is why it's like very consistent. It's made with the same exact fiber that goes into our making tracks. So it's an American non-superwash wool.
Right.
And dyed and spun in small batches here.
Very,
So
very nice.
that's that. Building out our roots line.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
So, we have heard from you guys that you like it when we share process, like when we take you in the mill and show you how things are actually made. So, we've taken on a new adventure. I don't know if we'd call it an adventure. And
It's a project.
It's a
for
project.
sure.
It's a project, and we thought we'd let you come in and let you know about it. We don't know where it's going to lead, but
We're on the we've just passed go.
Yeah.
And we're not.
yeah,
We're starting.
Yeah, the ignition key has been turned, and the engines are revving.
Yes. So
What is it we're doing?
I'm not exactly clear on how I want to describe this, so I'll talk around it.
Yeah.
it involves branding.
Right.
It involves the words rebrand, but I don't think we're really trying to move away from anything that we've been doing. It's more of a, when we first got started, the brand Junction Fiber Mill was sort of like you and I being like, yeah, it looks good.
Well, I think the other thing is we were a company, right? So the company was created because we were doing custom processing. So the whole visual look that you created, the color choices, the logo, the name, was all to support setting up a custom processing business, which is taking raw wool from area sheep farms and giving back gorgeous yarn.
Yep.
Well, fast forward 5 years, that's actually, while yes, that's part of our business, a whole different thing has happened to our mill, which is this creating these line of yarns that we give out to you and building a whole community around.
And being on the Millcast every
the Millcast
weekend.
and really engaging with a community way beyond whatever custom processing was going to do for us. And so it made us sort of go, 5 years later, we're still
we have the same set of like visual
stuff.
Black and white logo, green, a couple other colors that pop.
And it's just an opportunity to pause and say, how are we doing? What do we absolutely love, and what's feeling maybe a little stale because it hasn't caught up with what we have grown into.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of navel gazing.
Yeah, but I think like helpful navel, like I think
we've brought in a pro.
Right. Well, and we kind of had
it's like a therapist, actually.
Right. It reminds me of when we had business coaching
yes,
the other
that's
year.
Right. Yeah.
It just sort of allowed us to like scoop out a chunk of our schedule, like a pretty big chunk, to regularly sit down and take a step back and have someone who's well versed in business take a step with us and be like, this is what. I mean, certainly the branding strategy project that we're doing now is much more that, because we're paying professionals to look at like the yarn industry and the knitting industry and whatever to say like, this is where we see from the outside, like where you guys are falling in. To be honest, most of our business is sort of run by vibes. By you and I being like, that seems
yeah, I like that. Or sometimes it's like, I really don't like that. And I would say 90% of the time you and I both are like going, yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah.
Or we're struggling, we sort of see things. But it's very interesting to have an outside person come in and look at what all we're doing, talk to our competitors, talk to some of our customers, and then, frankly, make us sit there and talk about what we think's going on and what we think has been important.
And I think one big thing that comes up is like, what's the difference between the Peg and Amanda show and like Junction Fiber Mill, and trying to like tease that out as we grow, because like we've said in episodes here, like we are a whole team of people now. It's us in front of the camera on the Millcast, but like at our booth at festivals, you'll see other people. So many hands touch the yarn. So how do we include like where we've grown, like you said, in the past 5 years?
So if it all sounds a little on the woo-woo side, it is, but it's
so fun though.
It is good. I feel a little awkward sometimes when we're just talking about ourselves, kind of thing. But I think you have to unpack. Like when you say, well, I think we're this, you have to really unpack, well, what do you mean by that exactly?
And how does that like inform the decisions day to day?
Yeah.
Because it is like very high level stuff,
especially
where we are now. And where we are now is we're embarking on a big, high level two-step process. One is the strategy side, and then it's the branding and visual identity side after that. So with the strategy side, it's just something I've never really participated in before. I've done, prior to wool mill ownership, I was doing design and web development, coding basically, and then also just I knew my way around graphic design. So I was sort of further down the chain on this sort of thing. So it's really fun to sit back and talk about this business, which I feel is a pretty creative endeavor for us.
Yeah.
And to talk about like the business decisions we make and how that can, like, I don't know, it's not a logo you get at the end of the day, it's like words.
Right.
So we're trying to figure out what our words are to capture what we're doing here.
Right. And like Amanda said, we've carved out time. This will take some time to go through, and we will keep you posted from time to time, and throw out some of the things that we're maybe wrestling over, or we're not going to be asking you to vote because we barely can get a consensus internally on our own voting. But we'll certainly share with you some of the things that we're unpacking and see if they resonate with you. So that's the journey, the strategy branding sessions that we're going through.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a couple of months.
Yeah, I don't think that we'll have anything to like show for it like externally probably until October, probably post festival season. But certainly for next year, that'll be
You'll see the impact, the results,
But I think
right.
we want to let you guys know, like, we don't think our brand is broken.
No.
We don't want to move away from what we've been doing. It's really, we're in a lucky spot, or like I'm very grateful to be in a position of like, we're really proud of where we've come. We don't have to like take a totally right turn.
No.
But it's just how do we build it out? And also part of it is sustainability wise, like how do we just remove it from your and my brains so that we could potentially hire somebody to help us more with that side of the business than just the yarn making side of the business.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Are we up for another mill tour?
We sure are.
All right.
Take you on a tour.
Take it on.
All right. All right. I'm going to show you what is going on in the mill today. Let's take a look. Okay, so we're going to start with the dye pots. Hi, Leah. Leah is working on what color?
Sea glass.
Sea glass. Okay, and it looks like we've still got some pots cooking here. This is Aurora Borealis. Ooh. So we're basically waiting until all the dye is exhausted, and we do that, we check it by sort of pressing down with a spoon. And right now it's looking pretty good. You can see there's just a little bit of blue in that liquid. The reason we don't have a ton of liquid in here is because we don't want all the colors to get muddied. With making tracks, we really want to keep them distinct as they get dyed. So that's got a little bit more time to cook. And it looks like we've also got some scouring going on here. This is for a custom order. While I'm here, I'm just going to give this a little bit of a giant potato masher because it's good to just get a little bit of movement in there. We don't want to agitate it so that it felts, but we do want to mix in all of the soap. You can see this one is probably on its first wash here. And as I push this down, the soap smells kind of good. And also just like the sheepy smell, it never gets old. It's pretty pleasant despite the fact that there's definitely poop in that water. I don't know, am I alone there thinking sheep poop smells nice? It's a little bit of a sheep facial. And then in our washer, we've also got some more Aurora Borealis. This stuff needs to get hung out. We'll bring that to the back of the mill so it can dry. We like to keep the humidity on this side of the mill. It really helps make processing go smoothly. Okay, on the spinner, let's come around the back. You can get a better sense of the roving piles. So this is poolside. This is a Making Tracks colorway we haven't done in a little while. It's a little sneak peek. Oh, that feels like $1 million. I just like, it's just calming to look at these colors. They're so serene. I do kind of just want to dive into this. All right, so all these lovely blues are coming up and over our spinning frame. Then around the other side, you're gonna see that fiber get the twist put on it, which is the moment of magic, as I like to say, right there. So that's where it turns from roving or unspun wool into yarn. It comes down onto these bobbins. And because it's variegated, you get to see those different colors on the bobbins as it changes. This is an example of it when it's all spun. This is the single ply. So again, we are going to put the twist, we're going to combine this with another ply, but the twist in the opposite direction to make the ply yarn. And actually, you can see Logan setting that up right over here. So it looks like we've got our zinnia colorway along with poolside. And we can spin multiple colors at once because we use the same twist for all of our Making Tracks plaid yarn. And that was exciting. It's fun to see a machine start when we happen to come through for our tours. All right, you can see that's starting to fill up on those empty bobbins, whereas these guys have been going for a little while. And to show you, here's some that are ready to be removed from the bobbin of the skein winder. This looks like some more zinnia. And we're trying out a new system here at the mill. You can see these all have labels now. This is so that we know where we fill up one bobbin and then we continue to ply from the single plies up here, which one it went to, so that when we tie off a knot, we can be sure to get a 100% color match. Just part of our quality control efforts. All right, let's see. I'm just going to go behind this machine. Nothing on the picker today. The picker gets used, I would say, the least of our machines, because when we use it, it gets the job done pretty quick. So I usually don't happen in here when the picker's going. And you can see we've got a bunch of roving here. This is Savage Heart Farm. This is the light gray. It's been pin drafted. It's so freaking gorgeous. I mean, it's just this beautiful heathered light gray. We won't have that yarn available for a while, and we have a lot of it, so we're just sort of getting it ready to be spun. We'll peek around here. Todd's doing some hanking. Okay, this is a custom order for some Jacob yarn, and this is, oh, I was ogling this as it was hanging out back to dry. It's just so gorgeous. Jacob fleece, there's a big range in quality, and this is some really, really nice stuff. It's like a worsted weight. It's got this lovely shine to it. It probably started, as you all know, Jacobs have polka dots, so it's white, brown, gray, black, and this is it all mixed together. Just forms this beautiful dark heathered gray. Oh, and here is that brown that we were showing you earlier, what we're calling cedar. I have to say, I think it turned out a little closer to walnut, but anyway, cedar is what we're going with. It's just this lovely sort of like purplish brown almost. I think it's going to be really fun, and we've got that in our Making Tracks sport weight, our light, as well as the heavy DK. Fun, fun, fun! Okay, here's a beautiful pile of yarn you're gonna just want to jump into. This is Kelly, this is one of our custom processing customers. It's Shetland, and before it was picked, I have to say I adored it even more. You can kind of still see there's like these ringlets of wool here. And they're just so springy, and the fiber is so fine. Here, you can find another one you can kind of see it. When we pick it, it kind of takes those ringlets and basically puts a brush through them. But you can still kind of see it. Such beautiful fiber. And it's fun to see it in this state too, because all these colors are going to get so blended. But right now you can see the whites and the darks, and it's going to make a lovely gray yarn. But man, is it beautiful right now. Gorgeous! Okay. What have we got going through the Carter? Well, the Carter's paused at the moment, but this was some more of that Shetland. And this is just the white, so she's got a couple batches for this job. This is a custom job again. And as it's paused, you can kind of see it in action. It comes off of this roller as more or less a web. See that? You could make batting out of this. But what we do is we blow a little poof of compressed air on it from these hoses. That sends it this way, and then we use our very fancy and sophisticated tool here, it's a pipe cleaner, to bring it through this orifice, which just puts a little bit of twist on it to help hold it together on its little journey into the can coiler here. Again, this one's paused, so you can kind of see it freeze frame, and then we fill up our cans with beautiful fiber. Ooh, and what's in this can? This is the Pin Drafters can. I'm just getting a sneak peek. This is, we all know and love it, Vermont Vice. Instantly recognizable. One of the plies does not have the yellow in it, so that's what I can tell. That's that ply. And then on the skein winder, a couple things going on. We've got some Making Tracks, all DK it looks like. This is the stick season. You can see with our new system, they're all lined up like soldiers, ready to jump in when it's their turn. And here we go. We've got a bunch of beautiful yarn waiting to be rinsed. Why do we rinse it? Well, with the dyed stuff, we for sure want to make sure there's no dye material left and that it all is rinsed out. This is stick season. But we'll even rinse our undyed, and that's because as the wool travels through the mill, it is drafted a lot, or sort of like basically pulled through a comb, which with the curly fiber sort of straightens them out a little bit. And then once we rinse it, it has the effect of blooming or sort of adding, usually thickness to the strand, but also softness. The wool just kind of returns to its happy natural state. Here's the brat, ready for all your brat summer needs. So that's fun. We got a lot of rinsing to do. Oh, this is Day's End, by the way. This is the sport weight version of Day's End, making tracks light. And let's see. I think this is the Savage Heart Farm that I showed you in the bags earlier. Going through the pin drafter. It's paused now, but you can see the stacks of it. So the pin drafter is going to work to make the roving ready to be spun. It's going to be super uniform, and it's going to be, most importantly, the correct weight or thickness that we need it to go through the spinner. But don't mind me, I'm just going to sit here and touch this beautiful fiber. Oh, it's heavenly. Can't wait for that yarn. Okay. And I think that is about it. We've got some folks working in the back today, doing some marketing, doing some putting out. Oh, actually, here, I'll give you a peek at what happens to the making tracks once it's rinsed. Eileen, you're on TV.
Good.
So this is Aurora Borealis, and we put it out on some normal clothes racks to dry it out back here. Beautiful. And there you go.
Great tour.
Thank you so much.
You are very good at doing the tours.
Oh, now you've built it up so much.
Well, you are. You are. That's all good. So, do we have another open house?
We do, but before we talk about that, I do want to hear what you're up to this week while you're not at the mill.
I am immersed in...
I guess it will be, when this airs, it will have been last week?
Yes.
Timeline confusion. But
yes,
okay,
timeline confusion, you're right.
Back
I had a fabulous time. I just had a fabulous time. I mean, I'm quitting this job. I am taking up oil painting full time. I am treating myself to a week-long, on-location, sometimes referred to as plein air painting, outdoor painting with an artist in the area. So I'll be at home, but every day I'm going to be driving down to southern New Hampshire and just picking up the brush and painting. I used to paint on a very regular basis. I don't anymore. I miss it. I'm a little nervous because it's been a long time since I picked up the brush. But 5 consecutive days of painting all day long.
I hope you have terrific weather. And how many people are going to be?
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be less than a dozen.
Okay. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah.
Take some pictures.
And I will bring in some pictures. Maybe. We'll see how I do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, this weekend, we have an open house at the mill from 10 to 1.
Yep.
June 21st. We hope we see you here.
I will be there.
Yeah. And we will have, our mill second skeins at a discount. That's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And we'll, of course, have our brand new Roots
This will be there as well as all our other Roots colors. And we just know it'll be gorgeous weather because it has rained so much that by the 21st of June, my God, if we don't get a sunny Saturday, holy mackerel.
I know. It's only sunny on like a Monday.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. We'll see ya.